Good morning, welcome back to The Girl Who Reads Bear, written by Sophie Anderson, illustrated by Katrina Honesta, read with permission from Usborne Publishers. You'll notice today, it's beautiful. I'm sat outside. We've got a bit of an audience, we've got some birds, we've got some seagulls flying around. We've also got a few children playing in the playground, so listen out for some of that. We're up to chapter 6, which is called The Bullfinch Calls. I finish the story, look down at Mousetrap and bristle with annoyance, because instead of listening to me, he's fast asleep. His head had fallen back and a tiny thread of drool hanging from his mouth wobbles as he snores. A breeze blows through the still open window and washes away my irritation. I imagine leaving the house and breathing in great lungfuls of the cold night air, walking across the sparkling snow and slipping into the shadows of the forest. I imagine finding my story there, one that explains where I came from and what's happening to me now. The thought stirs a deep longing inside me, but I push it away, because it'd be wrong to leave Mamochka, and it'd be dangerous to go into the forest alone, at night. But the idea is already growing, shivering in the air like an electrical storm. A bullfinch lands on a branch at the bottom of the garden, and snow cascades to the ground. He ruffles his feathers and stares straight at me, and I wonder if he's the same bullfinch that spoke to me. "Yanka!" he calls, as if to answer my thought. "Yanka the bear!" He flutters up to my window and perches on the sill. "Come into the forest!" His head tilts in question. The urge to go outside is overwhelming, but I force my head to shake. "I can't leave Mamochka. I shouldn't," I whisper. "Please be quiet. Don't say anything else." "Would you like me to silence him?" A small but mighty voice sounds in my ear. I whip my head round and nearly knock Mousetrap off my shoulder. I hadn't felt him climbing up there. I stare into his shining black eyes, my mind whirling in confusion. "What did you say?" "Would you like me to silence the bird?" Mousetrap repeats slowly, running his tongue over his tiny pointed teeth. "No!" I exclaim, horrified by the suggestion. Mousetrap slouches with disappointment. "Let me know if you change your mind." He sprints down my arm, leaps off the bed and disappears into a gap between two floorboards. I stare after him. "Mousetrap talks too." He made a series of squeaks and squeals, but I understood every word. The bullfinch flutters away and I rub my eyes as if I've just woken. The moon shines high over the snow forest, turning everything silvery blue. The trees reach up to the stars and secrets whisper between their branches. The bullfinch has stopped calling, but something else is drawing me towards the forest, something far more powerful. Answers to who I am and what's happening to me. I can't resist it anymore. My mind buzzes and plans with ideas. I have a copy of Anatoly's map. I could use it to find my way into the forest, to explore the places mentioned in his stories, and to look for clues to my past. I could take some food with me, and shelter in Anatoly's cabins when I need rest. Anatoly has 5 cabins scattered throughout the snow forest, and they're all labelled on my map. Another gust of wind comes and ruffles the fur on my feet, and I can't wait any longer. I have to go. I lower my feet to the floor and tiny vibrations run into my swollen soles. It's Mousetrap, pattering beneath the floorboards. I can feel him, I can feel where he is, and something else too. The trembling of a mouse or a vole hiding from him. It's incredible, like having another sense, and I wonder what it will be like to walk over snow. I stand and wobble across the bedroom, still not used to the feel of my legs, slip through the door and emerge onto the landing, holding my breath. I'm not worried Mamochka will wake. She looked exhausted when she went to bed, and she always sleeps deeply after valerian root tea. But I still tremble with the thought of getting caught. If I don't reach the forest now, disappointment would crush me. The size of my feet and the strangeness of my legs makes the stairs a challenge. I end up sitting, half sliding, half bumping down them, like I used to when I was little. At the bottom, I lift my coat off the peg by the front door and shuffle through the living room, pausing to collect my copy of Anatoly's map from the box on the mantelpiece. All the food Mamochka cooked today is laid out on the marble slab in the kitchen. I slide a couple of piroshki pastries stuffed with cabbage and egg into my pocket and add a handful of dried apricots. Then I lift a pencil and piece of paper from Mamochka's medicine mixing corner and write her a note. Dear Mamochka, I can't go to the hospital. I'm sorry. I need to find more than a cure to these legs. I need to understand why they have grown and how they relate to my past, and I think those answers lie in the forest. I'll be careful. I have my map and some food, and I can shelter in Anatoly's cabins when I need to. Please don't worry. I'll be back in a day or two. I love you, Yanka. Kiss. I stare at the note and frown. It's not a very good note, but I have no idea how to express the feelings I have inside. It would take 1,000 words, and even then Mamochka wouldn't understand, and she'll worry no matter what I write. My gaze drifts through the window into the garden beyond. The moonlit snow is crisscrossed with small animal tracks running into the forest, and the branches of the pines at the bottom of the garden curl, as if beckoning me towards them. The thought of Mamochka waking to find me gone tugs at my back, but the pull of the forest and my story inside it keeps growing stronger. I need to go. So I take a deep breath, place the note on the table, and walk out of the back door, trying to ignore the stretching sensation in my heart.